everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Miss Bellissimo, and in today's video we're going to learn about how to use a comma. So, what is a comma? A comma is this thing right here. It's used in a sentence in many different ways, but it's going to be one that's going to be lower to the bottom. So what I mean by that is if you were to have a sentence, for example, tomorrow, something happens, or comma, Okay, so it's the one that's kind of the smaller one. We also have something called an apostrophe when you're thinking of like he's. This is not the one we're getting into. This one right here is what we're going to talk about. So let's take a look at what a comma is. But before we look at what a comma is, let's take a quick back step and take a look at what a sentence is. So, quite simply, a sentence is a phrase which expresses a complete thought. Now, the thing that I really like to focus here is on the complete thought idea, and this is where a lot of students will struggle. It needs to have a subject and a verb. So all English sentences will have a subject, a verb, and let's use purple here, our object. They will all have a subject and a verb. They can have an object. So our subjects can be the first subject, I, me, my, or I am me. Your second subject, you, he, she, it would be our third. Names, Mr. Bob. Okay, so these are all examples of subjects. They're going to usually go at the start of the sentence, but they don't always need to. Our most simple subject, or our most simple sentences, the subject will come at the beginning. The next thing that we need right here is our verb. Now there are two types of verbs. There is your action verb. These are the ones that are pretty easy to see. Your action verb can be anything like run, jump. If you can do it, it's an action. The second one would be your state of being. State of being. This is like your am, is, are, these types of verbs. If you'd like to have a video more about the different types of verbs in English and a more detailed explanation of this, let me know in the comment section below and I can make one of those. And then the last thing is going to be our object. So let me explain the object by first going through and taking a look at these three sentences, or these three phrases here, rather. Okay, so we need a subject in each of them. So the subject in this one, I am happy, would be I. Right here we have our nice subject. So I am happy, I am. Am happy, do we have a subject? No. Okay, our next one is our verb. So am, right? I am, being our state of being right there. I am. Okay, so right there we have our subject and our verbs, and then we have what it is that we are, our state. In this case, you could say, I have a ball. I have a ball. That would be another good sentence. So again, starting with the I, our verb is to have, and our thing in which we are having is the ball, being our object. Alright, so that's our sentence right there. Now if we take a look at these two, I am happy. Is that a full sentence? Yes, that is a full sentence. It expresses a complete thought. We have our subject, I, we have the verb, it's am, and we have the thing that we are, happy, right? If we take a look at our second one and we look at I am, is that a complete sentence? Yes, that is a complete sentence. You could ask, are you going tonight? Could be anything, a ball game, a party, to the restaurant, and you could say, I am. Right? Referring to the going tonight. But you don't need that. So you could just say I am. And that right there expresses a complete thought. If you were to just say am happy, this does not express a complete thought. This is not an example of a sentence. Because you have to ask who. Who is happy? Or what is happy? It wouldn't make sense. Now in some languages you can do this because of the verb. For example, in French, Italian, or sorry, not French. In Italian, I know you can do it. There are some other languages out there where the verb changes. It does change in French, but in Italian, you don't actually need the subject. But in English, you need the subject. So, with all this said, let's take a look at sentences and the different rules. Now I'm going to do some mini videos so that you can understand the different parts of commas because there are quite a lot of them. So in each video we'll have just one rule. So let's take a look at the first rule. So the first rule of commas, let's call this rule number 1, is to combine two sentences together. Two sentences, what I really mean by here is two complete phrases. But really what I mean is kind of the two sentences right up there that we talked about. So let's take a look at some examples down here. Now, if we take a look at our first one, I am going to the store and I will buy cheese. Are these two full sentences? Yes, they are. We have our subjects right here, I, and our verb, am going. Now this is a compound verb. Again, if you'd like to see more about compound verbs, let me know in the comment section below and I can make a video on that. But a compound verb is essentially going to have more than one word in the verb. So I am going. Where am I going? I'm going to the store. In the next one, I will buy. What will I buy? I will buy cheese. So we have two complete sentences right here. Now, this is correct. There is nothing wrong with what is written right here. But if we wanted to combine them, because we wanted a more complex sentence, or this would be a compound sentence in this case, I can do that and show some complexity in my writing. We don't always like short sentences. Sometimes we like nice, long, complex ones, and this is where you can do this. So, if the two sentences that you're combining are related, for example, I am going to the store, and if your second sentence was something like, I like rockets, I mean like rocket ships going out into space, those wouldn't really make sense together. Why does a store have to do with rockets? So you have to make sure that they make sense together. Okay, so let's take a look at this one right here. I am going to the store, I will buy cheese. Now this makes sense because it's happening one, and then you have the second thing happening. So, we write out the first part, I am going to the store. Now, the first thing that we do is we take this little period right here. That's where the period usually is. And we turn it straight into a comma. Now, if I were to just write the second part, I will buy cheese, if I were to just do this, this would be incorrect. And this is a common error called a comma splice. It is splicing these two sentences. It's not being used properly. It's just not the proper use of a comma. A comma is not where you're supposed to take a breath in a sentence. It has a specific use. So, you would change this into a comma, but what else do you need? You need anything that is in your fanboys. Now, if you are learning English, you may have heard of your fanboys before. If you haven't, you might not have heard of it before. But this is just a really fancy way for you to remember what we call our, let me just write this down here, coordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions. If you think this is long and you don't want to remember what it's called, that's totally fine. All you really need to know is your fanboys right here. So, what does it stand for? It stands for, and, nor, but, or, yet, or so. And all of these can be used as long as they have a comma before them and one of these. So you need a comma plus something from this category. If you don't know how to use some of these right here, I'm going to show you how to use it in this situation, but if you need some more context on what these all are, let me know in the comment section below. I can make a more detailed video about that as well. Now, mostly in English, we use and, but, or. You'll see those the most frequently. So let's go back here to our example. I am going to the store. I will buy cheese. I can combine that using my and. I am going to the store, comma, and I will buy cheese. Period. So the thing to remember is that you need number 1 and you need number 2. If you don't have both of them, it's not correct. So it's not too hard to do. Let's take a look at 5 examples. Okay, so here's our first example. I'm going to read it out loud, and then I'll give you a chance to pause the video, and you can either write it down, or you can do it aloud with me. I'll give you a chance to answer, and then we'll take a look at it together. So, our first one right here. It is raining outside, period. I need to wear a jacket. It is raining outside, period. I need to wear a jacket. Okay, let's take a look at this one. So it's raining outside. These are all going to be sentences. 2 sentences that we're combining. So don't worry too much. These are always going to be correct. I want to see that you can join them properly. So we take this period, we turn it into a comma, and then we add any one of our fanboys. So it is raining outside, so I need to wear a jacket. It's raining outside, and I need to wear a jacket. Okay, perfect. Let's take a look at the second one. I am hungry. I will eat cheese. I am hungry. I will eat cheese. Okay, so what's the first thing we do? We take this period, we turn it into a comma, and we add one of our fanboys. I am hungry, so I will eat cheese. I am hungry, and I will eat cheese. Any one of those will work. Alright, number 3. I say and button, or the most common in this. The examples I have are having a lot of so's. Let's take a look at number 3. I want to go to the park. I have homework to do. Okay, this one's not going to be a so, but what's the first thing we do? We take this period, we turn it into a comma, and then we add one of our fanboys. I want to go to the park, but I have homework to do. I cannot go to the park because I have homework. Alright, let's take a look at number 4. I want to write. I need a pen. I want to write. I need a pen. Okay, so we take this period, turn it into a comma. I want to write, so I need a pen. I want to write, and I need a pen. You can say, and I need a pen. Any of those will work. Alright, let's take a look at our last one. Tomorrow is Friday. The day after is Saturday. Tomorrow is Friday, period. The day after is Saturday. What is the first thing we do? First thing we do is we take this period, we turn it into a comma, and we add one of our fanboys. Tomorrow is Friday, and the day after is Saturday. Or you could do so as well here if you wanted to. Alright, so that is the end of our examples right here. There were 5 questions total. How did you do? If you like these videos, keep watching them. I'm going to do a whole bunch more of the different rules down below. This is going to turn into a little video series. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. If you have any kind of ideas that you would like to see, or any kind of topics, let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. And I hope you have fun using your commas. Alright, bye!